being a part of BookMates, especially during the pandemic, has really been almost a lifeline for me. This has really helped to connect with those that really need it and really give me a purpose. It allowed me to really be flexible with my schedule and more so accommodate the children's schedule, where I might not have been able to do that if I had to be in the office or in an environment where I couldn't jump on a Zoom and connect with one of the children. I thought it was really a positive way for me to get involved. The one little boy who I've been reading to, he loves animals. So I've been reading The One and Only Ivan to him. Every time we get on the Zoom, can I see your dog? Get through a book, and then I'll make sure that you see him before you leave. And so then I call him over, and his face lights up every time he sees him. So I was a few minutes late jumping on, and the one boy was asking like, oh, where's Miss Alyssa? And he was getting nervous, wanted his reading time. But I try to make sure I stop, even though I'm not a teacher, act like if I was a teacher, like, okay, so what do you think's going to happen next? Or what do you think that means? Or, how do you think this person's feelings? This way I can make sure that they're engaged and they're getting the most out of their time. So this has been great.
Just the interaction and conversation, I think is kind of like the biggest impact. And sometimes what, at least I've noticed for the two kids that I've been working with, are probably missing in like home life and things like that. And probably even more right now that we're in a COVID work from home, school from home situation. So I actually think it's probably even been more beneficial to have this one-on-one communication and time. They're missing out on all these other social interactions and things like that they would typically get in the classroom. The teachers even mentioned to me, like, I had to miss a week before. And she said to me, they were asking about you last week. Like, they remember, they look forward to it. They're excited. And you can just tell they just enjoy having conversations. I think the one-on-one really helps them focus and be excited about school and excited about reading, because sometimes you can lose that when you're in a bigger group and you're not in person. And they love that time. I think they look forward to it. So I think that having this type of opportunity where it can be virtual, not only virtual, but like what it does for me, it almost sounds like selfish, but like this volunteer experience and what it does for me personally, like I love the interaction. I love the way it makes me feel when I get to engage with these kids. I love knowing that it touches them and it's going to help them grow. So I think in a really difficult, dark time over the last year, it's been wonderful for myself and probably the other volunteers to get that interaction and that, warm, fuzzy feeling that maybe a lot of people were missing.
The police reading buddy is just the utmost wonderful thing that can happen. Having an adult that's a friend and someone in the community that they know and can lean on. So we're really pleased to have our kindergarten officer reading buddies with us each week.
When I was first asked to join a BookMates program 5 years ago now, 5 or 6 years ago, I was a patrolman, and I really was excited about, joining the program because number one, I love to read, and number two, I love kids. So in order to have that relationship and that experience with them, I'm like, absolutely. I mean, of course, I get to gain that trust with them. And I thought that was awesome. It gives them a chance to create that impression and that relationship with officers that, the officers are their friends, because at that age, they're so impressionable, and a lot of experience that they have shape who they ultimately become as they get older. And of course, with the presence of police in the community, we have to instill their trust in us. If at a young age they see, okay, the police officer is my friend, they want to read to me, they want to spend time with me, and we make an effort to make sure that we're there for them every week, and then they just don't see us when something bad happens, and that gives them that comfort and that trust to be like, yeah, that's my friend. So if something does happen, they know that they can come to us. Can you talk?
What do you think of your officer?
I like it.
What's your favorite part of the day?
When she reads to me.
Hey, buddy. So today we have the Tickle Monster.
I think it's really cool that we are still able to have that connection with the community and being able to speak out while we are doing it safely. So I think the mates have been amazing.
Say, you want to just say a few words to me for a second about your officer? What do you think?
I love her books, and she read a Pickalicious one, and that one was the favorite one because I love Pink.
And what do you think about having an officer reading to you?
It's amazing.
So I love the children. They're so cute and we have great conversations. Sometimes they'll run into the room and bring out a toy or a special book they like to read, and then we'll read that one. It's really fun. I love it because we can share a screen and I could show them the book, and sometimes we read it together. And if they want to read something special, I'm able to see the words and can help them with it. If I were wealthy and I didn't have to work and I could do this all day, I would prefer to read with the kids because it's so much fun. And I got to be honest, I think sometimes I get more out of it than they do because it's so enjoyable. It's really fun. I would not have signed up for it because I would never have thought I would have had the time to get there and back. I'm so glad it happened and I had the opportunity while it was Zoom because it definitely opened the door for me.
She looks like she's enjoying it and she's happy. I mean, she usually gives me a big smile.
Do you feel like you're learning?
Yeah.
What's one thing that you learned about that you really enjoyed?
Cats and dogs.
We have today, these are fourth grade words. Let's try for some of these and then we'll go to our book, okay?
View.
5, that is terrific, okay?
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. Now, is there a word here that you don't know? Pick one word in the column, okay, that you don't know that we should.
First one and the
Okay.
second one.
Okay, the second one is the word suffix, and that's like an ending, like ing. So suffix is a little addition, like you could say run, but running, like the ing part of it, is like a suffix. Okay, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about the owl as camouflage?
The feathers.
The feathers, right? And what do they blend in with?
The tree.
The bark, right? It looks like the bark of the tree. You want to see somebody funny? There's me. I look with my hat, but you had to wear. And I want to show you one other thing that's funny.
I've really enjoyed it, and I was wondering at first, would I be able to make a connection with students, through Zoom, but I definitely feel like I've been able to. I think one of the most rewarding parts is to hear them be like, oh, well, like, I want to read that book again. Working with Holman, I used to work in our headquarters in New Jersey, but I'm actually out in California now, but I still want to support my old local community, and this is a way that I can do that. I feel really fortunate to have been able to participate in this program, and I think adding the Zoom format has allowed me to participate where I otherwise might not have been able to. I think it's a chance for more volunteers who maybe can't get away from their office or whatever they're doing for that hour, but if they're able to stay where they are, I really look forward to the hour that I get to spend with these first graders each week. Education is so important, and for me to have the chance to give back and to have been able to see how the kids have progressed, how they look forward to it as well. Again, it's something I look forward to every week. It's very grounding, right? And to do it kind of in the middle of the workday, I've got it blocked on my calendar, so I'm always able to, but it really centers you of, hey, my workday might be stressful, but this is what's really important. So I've been really fortunate to participate.
Previous year, we did BookMates, in person. The kids had a great time. It was just amazing in person. And this year with COVID, we had to do it virtually through Zoom. I was like, we'll see how it goes. The kids might not log in. We'll see how this works. And we began. The kids have made connections. They're excited to be on Zoom with their BookMates. And it's just been a really great experience to see that it worked and working on their reading skills and learning about books, but also just making that connection with them and talking about their day. And they look forward and they tell their parents that I have new friends. So it's just been really great experience just to see our kids read with people that are within New Jersey and other states. And like I said, it's just something special, that one-on-one attention. And it's just beautiful. Some of the kids that I know were struggling with the reading, and just to work with that 30 minutes with a person, definitely has helped them. This is why I do this and why I love this, because these kids, those connections that they made, is just sweetest and the most beautiful thing ever. Some of the officers read with our students, and it just definitely has changed the view and the relationship with so many things happening. But it was just the most amazing thing ever. I just love this program, and I'm glad we have it here. Yes. So if it's possible through Zoom, yes.
Despite being remote, I felt very connected with the children that I read to. The student that I worked with was a first grader, very interactive, and very excited every week. I never missed a meeting because I knew that she was so excited about it. She would also sometimes have her little sister with her and her dog, and she would show me things like that she got over the weekend. Like I think during Easter weekend, she showed me everything that was in her basket. I actually feel so connected that it's going to be hard for me to not have this student next year. I could see her progress because she was reading to me throughout the year. I want to see where she goes. I think I would do it forever if I could.
I want to tell you a little bit about my experience with BookMates on Zoom. It was a little different than being in the classroom where I could see a person and have a face-to-face conversation, and we could look at the book together. And I thought it might be a problem, but as I started with my first grader, my bookmate, our relationship became really wonderful. In fact, now I can't even get him to get off Zoom. So we have time for about an hour. We talk, we read, we do sight words, and he has improved so much. It's hard for me to believe what an impact we have had on each other's lives. BookMates is a wonderful organization. I hope next year we can do it in person, but if not, Zoom is good, and you can establish a wonderful relationship with your buddy and your Zoom mate, and it's just been a great experience for me.
I learned how to read more words.
Hi, Sherrod. So, shall we start with some words?
Yes, no sun.
Oh.
So
How are you?
good.
I am a monkey who taught myself to read. I had to say all those silly words.
We're on like a Dr. Seuss kick right now. These are shorter Dr. Seuss books, like Green Eggs and Ham, One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. And she loves to read, and she is not at all distracted with what's going on around her. I'm just picking up some of the noises, but I just turn my volume up like really, really high because she's wearing a mask too. So when she's reading, it's a little muffled because she's wearing a mask and she's in the classroom and there's this noise going on. But you know what? We make it work, and she's such a delight. You know, we're just working around it. And I have a student who, when we read, he's in the dining room. It's like the dining room / kitchen. There's lots of activity. I think there's like 4 dogs and a cat in the house. Mom's there, and he's really high energy. He's always so interested and has great ideas, and we have great conversations. But then sometimes he'll jump up out of his chair and he'll run out of the room, and then his mom, she'll pop her head around and she'll say, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I'm like, no, it's fine. There's no problem whatsoever. Like, it doesn't bother me at all. I love that he has things to show me. He wants to go get something and bring it to the computer, and he's just so full of all kinds of ideas. And we just incorporate all of that into our reading time. It's fun. I definitely feel like I have a connection with all of the students that I read with. One of the students that I read with, he likes all things dinosaurs, lizards, deep sea creatures. So not only am I learning a lot, he is just really excited about us learning and reading together. And then he'll say, "Okay, Mrs. Cleary," we'll be like 3 pages into a particular dinosaur, and he'll say, "Okay, we're gonna have a pop quiz." So then he asks me questions about something we just read, which makes it fun. And that's what it's supposed to be.